like if you found the video valuable. Nina Barrett had never lived alone before. After a messy breakup, she rented a tiny fixer-upper cabin in the woods outside Asheville. Quiet, isolated, no neighbors for miles. It was perfect, until the silence became unbearable. She found an old shortwave radio buried in the attic on her second day there. Heavy, rusted knobs, still powered on when plugged in. The strange part? It only played static, but not just static. There was something beneath the hiss. Night 1. The whisper. At 2:41 a.m., Nina was jolted awake by the sound. It wasn't loud, it was whispering, from the radio, even though it was off. She plugged it back in and turned the dials. Still static, until the noise dipped and rose like breathing. Then a faint voice. I see you now. She yanked the plug out again. Silence. The woodsman's note. In the kitchen drawer, she found a yellowed envelope. Inside, a single page. The radio doesn't play music. It plays memory. If it speaks your name, leave immediately. If it doesn't, never answer back. It was signed only, MT. Night 2. Her name. She stayed up, drinking wine, eyeing the radio like it might bite her. At 1:37 a.m., it powered on by itself. No hand touched it. The dial glowed pale green. Static hissed. Then, a crackle, and a voice. Nina. She froze. The tone wasn't threatening, but it was familiar, like her own voice, played backwards. Then, don't forget the basement. She hadn't known there was a basement. The hidden door. Behind a shelf in the hallway, she found a trapdoor. Locked, but old. She pried it open. A short stairwell led into a pitch-black room. The smell hit her first, dust and copper. Then, the cold. In the center sat a chair, facing the wall, and on the wall, dozens of tiny notches, scratched in by hand. Underneath, the words. She never stopped listening. Night 3. The broadcast. Nina recorded the radio feed on her phone. When she played it back, the voice was clearer than when she'd heard it live. A woman's voice, weeping, repeating, he never came back. I waited. He never came back. I waited. When slowed down, another layer emerged beneath it. Bring her upstairs. The weeping stopped, the static spiked, and then it said, you're already down here. The reflection. She looked in the mirror and felt it immediately. That disconnect, like something had tilted inside her. Her reflection moved, just a split second after she did. And when she looked away, she saw movement behind herself. But turning around, nothing. The tape. Behind the radio panel, she found an old cassette. Labeled only. Answering her. She played it on her phone's converter. It was a man's voice. He spoke softly, shakily. I thought it would end if I said her name. I thought she'd go, but she only got stronger. Then came the static, and a woman's scream. Long, distorted, echoing. Night 4. The voice returns. At 3 a.m. sharp, the radio turned on again. But this time it wasn't a whisper. It was a conversation. One side was the woman, pleading, please, just say it. Just say my name. I want to hear it again. The other side was Nina, her voice, recorded from the phone the night before. Only she hadn't said those words. Then the voice on the radio said, I'm coming upstairs now. The footsteps. They started slow. One step, then another. Creaking floorboards. Closer, closer. Nina grabbed a kitchen knife and backed against the fridge. The trapdoor creaked open behind her. But she hadn't touched it. She ran. Outside. In the woods, breathless, barefoot, she turned and looked back at the cabin. Every light was on, and in the upstairs window, she saw her reflection, looking down at her, but she was outside. The stranger's letter. Days later, she reached a payphone in the next town. She stayed at a motel and posted on a paranormal forum about her experience. Only one reply came through. You shouldn't have answered. Now she knows your voice. And voices echo forever. Epilogue. Final recording. A month later, the cabin was listed for rent again. Another tenant moved in. On her first night, she unpacked an old box labeled emergency items. Inside, a flashlight, a map of the woods, and a shortwave radio, already turned on, already whispering.